Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our 12th annual People's Choice Award ceremony. Would you please rise for the singing of our national anthem? It'll be performed tonight by Mr. George Castro. And here's George.
I'm George. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, George. That was beautiful. At this time, here they are, our People's Choice nominees. Keep coming, Tor. You got this, girl. You sub, Laura. You look so pretty. As they all have a seat, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Kathy Donahue. I'm one of the media specialists here at Seneca High School. I'm also the assistant athletic director. And I have the good fortune to work in an outstanding school district surrounded by many great people. Some of our VIPs that are here tonight include our board member, Mrs. Margaret Eslow of Woodland Township. Our principal, Mr. Jeff Spector. And our teachers that run the Renaissance program here at Seneca, which sponsors tonight's events. Ms. Casey Mikowski, Mrs. Sandy Langen, and Ms. Kristen Walsh. It's an honor and a privilege to be here tonight to host the 2015 People's Choice Award ceremony. At this time of year, as we wind down the school calendar, we take time to honor many of our students with a variety of assemblies. Last week, we paid tribute to our gifted academic students, and next Tuesday, we will honor our senior athletes at the Goldies. But tonight, we've gathered for a unique and extraordinary award show. Tonight, the People's Choice is an opportunity to celebrate the student who has dazzled us with their character. Here at Seneca, we're fortunate to have kids who are really smart, really athletic, or really talented in their field. Tonight's honorees may in fact have some or all of those attributes, but in addition, they've been singled out because of who they are. All of our nominees have impressed us, perhaps with their manners, their determination, their work ethic, their willingness to help others, or their winning personalities. It's definitely their character that has been noticed. From a pool of over 1,200 students, just 54 will receive a medal tonight based on their strength of character. It's definitely, again, their character that's been noticed. So you, my fine people, are truly special. It is said that character is what we do when we think no one is looking. Well, we want you to know that people are looking. We see you. The staff here at Seneca has identified you as a great human being, and we want others to see you as we do. This night is a chance to acknowledge and honor your character, your charm, your integrity, and your humanity. Be proud of yourselves for being nominated and wear your medals proudly at the graduation ceremony. So before we begin our award presentations, we do need to make a few thank yous. First, to our terrific teachers, administrators, and support staff. Thank you for recognizing these fine young people who walk through our halls each day and for coming out tonight to pay tribute to them. To our lovely guests, that's you, parents, family, guardians, and friends, thank you for your positive influence on our young adults and for sharing this celebration tonight. To Russo's Farm Market, the flowers that you donated are gorgeous. We really appreciate it. And to our TV crew and our custodial staff, your behind-the-scenes work is always appreciated. And finally, to our People's Choice nominees, you are awesome. It's true. Someone wanted to point that out tonight. So thank you for being the great individuals that you are. It's now time to introduce our principal, Mr. Jeff Spector, to say a few words.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us for our People's Choice Awards. Let me begin by thanking Ms. Eslow for joining us this evening, along with Mrs. Donahue and George Castro. Give them a round of applause. I'd also like to thank our Renaissance Club students and their advisors. You saw some of the students out there today, not only for this evening's program, but for all the wonderful things that they do for our school. For your information, Renaissance is a school club that in simple terms recognizes students and staff for doing the ordinary extraordinary. Let me also take the opportunity to thank our staff here this evening. This evening is not only about recognizing our students, it's also about recognizing you, the Seneca staff, for taking the effort to connect with our students and allowing them to touch your heart. I kind of wish this thing was like something that swiveled, but I'm going to talk to the kids now, so I'm going to kind of turn, excuse me for doing that. To the students here tonight, congratulations. You are not here by accident. You have done something remarkable. You have touched the life of another person, the most powerful thing you can do. I have taken the time to read what each of your teachers have had to say about you. Some are for one-time interactions, some are for year-long or four-year-long interactions, and some just for a random act of kindness. You see, whether you know it or not, you have the ability to move others. You may not know who nominated you, but when you touch others, you may never really truly know the impact. Teachers assess you by a test grade or class participation. Tonight you get an A in human relations. Strive to make that a lifelong endeavor. On behalf of our staff, thank you for touching our lives, for making our job so much more than a job, and for enriching our lives. Thank you for making Seneca High School a better place, and thank you for just being you. Please join me in giving them a round of applause. Thank you and enjoy the evening.
And now it's time for the presentation of our awards. A reminder to our staff, please remember to introduce the next presenter before you leave the podium. First up, Mrs. Amy Romanecki.
A little shorter, okay. My nominee for People's Choice is Miss Devin Borkowski. Come on over. I met Devin this year when she joined Seneca's literary magazine club. Just by the colorful ornaments in her hair and the way she said her name, I knew I was going to adore her. She has certainly lived up to every expectation I had. Devin is fun, she is quirky, she is hilarious, she is an artist, she is a thinker. Devin is a hard worker, and most importantly, she is a great friend to everyone she meets. Congratulations, Devin, and thank you for making Lit Mag so much fun. And next up, Miss Deb Doolittle.
Mother Teresa once said, "Every time you smile at someone, it is an action of love, a gift to that person, a beautiful thing." With a smile that lights up your world, I'd like to present my 2015 People's Choice Award to Morgan Fenrick. Good morning, Mrs. Doolittle. Good morning, Nick. How are you today? All resound with a smile. Her face reflects the joy she delivers, hoping it will remain with you a while. Time after time, these pleasantries abound, up and down, in and out the halls and walls, and all around. Always happy, kind, and sincere, Morgan starts and ends her day with a smile from ear to ear. Each greeting reflects her upbeat kind of style. You'll rarely see her face without her radiant smile. In class or in lunch, or just passing in the hall, Morgan's grace and style far exceeds them all. Thank you, Morgan, for sharing your happiness, your joy, and for making our world a brighter, happier place. Congratulations. And our next presenter is Miss Diana Hanna.
My People's Choice is someone who has been talking about this quite a bit to me, and I'm sure she knows I nominated her now. It's Samantha Flynn. It was very hard to keep this from her. She confronted me the second she got the award, and it's very hard to hide a blush. Samantha, you exude beauty externally and internally. Each day, Sam greets me with that $1,000,000 smile. I know she does not know this, but I want her to know. Sam, you inspire me every day. Regardless of any adversity that you have faced in your life, you have chosen to rise above those challenges and become a better person. You find ways to turn a negative into a positive. You have found a way to make the world a better place just by being yourself and spreading your happiness to others just by being happy and kind. Your spirit is contagious, and I'm lucky because I get to spend my mornings and my afternoons with you. Sam, you're intelligent, you're motivated, you're thoughtful, you're kind, you're a leader, a role model, and I'm very proud of you. Congratulations. Next up would be Mr. Sean Kirby. However, he could not be with us tonight. Mr. Sean Kirby has selected his People's Choice as Matthew Sage. Matt learned a quick lesson in the beginning of the year in my Spanish class. Afterwards, I challenged him to prove his ability and retention of knowledge in class, not only to me, but more importantly to himself. He has become very successful and has had a great chance at earning an A for the year. So what am I most proud of with you, Matt? Although not outspoken, I do notice you, and I'm proud of your selflessness. You have become a true leader, not only of yourself, but of others as well. You are deserving of this award for that. Keep impressing people. Matt Sage, you are my 2015 People's Choice Award. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next up is Miss Katie Gosker.
Hello, everyone. Kristen, help us here. Come on down, bud. Quiet, shy, and hardworking are just 3 words to describe this student. However, as the year continued, quiet and shy definitely dwindled away, and her more outgoing personality definitely came out. Not only was Kristen a hard worker, but a great help in the classroom. We received a new student who spoke very little English in our bio class, and Kristen was willing to help her with directions, worksheets, and even be partners with her with different activities. After getting to know Kristen, the 3 new words I would describe her are hardworking, outgoing, and a great help in the classroom. Did you know what was going? You did. Oh, stinker. And next up, we have Miss Lambusta.
Good evening. My People's Choice recipient is Kayla Doria. I've had the pleasure of having Kayla in class for both English 1 and English 2. In my time with her, Kayla has emerged in my eyes as a role model for her peers. She is the type of girl to approach any situation with a smile. She takes complete ownership over her actions and genuinely cares for others' success as well as her own. She has a way about her that makes others feel valued and appreciated. I wanted to recognize these qualities and show her how much she is valued and appreciated. What better recognition than to spotlight her tonight at Seneca's People's Choice Awards ceremony. You're welcome. Up next, Mrs. Beth Cerrone.
Lance, will you join me on stage? Good evening. Lance Eckstein arrives at Seneca every day ready to learn and to be an awesome student. Every day. Even more importantly, every day he models amazing personal qualities. Every day. Respectful, witty, well-rounded, involved, and hardworking are just a few of the many positive words that come to mind whenever I interact with Lance. The scheduling gods have smiled upon me for 2 years, given me the honor of teaching Lance as a freshman and as a sophomore. My fingers and toes are crossed that the streak will continue his junior year. Congratulations, Lance. I am proud of you tonight and every day. Every day. And next up is Mrs. Nikki Wiesen.
Good evening. I have chosen Spencer Eckstein for my People's Choice. Spencer has been a representative of the class of 2017 for the past 2 years. Spencer is always one of the first to volunteer to run an errand, one of the first to show up when decorating, one of the last to leave when cleaning up. He even helps me with attendance, something I sometimes need help with, keeping track of. Spencer is my go-to guy when I need a rep to do an odd job. When I say, who will do this? Before I even have the task out of my mouth, Spencer is saying, I'll do it, I'll do it. He doesn't even know what it is yet. He is always enthusiastic, ready to work, and never complains. I want to thank Spencer for being such an important part of class government and by making my day brighter by being a part of it. Thank you, Spencer.
Thank you.
All right, next, I would like to introduce Dr. Ken Zerone.
I don't know about that one. If you're thinking about malpractice, maybe. Good evening, everybody. My People's Choice recipient was one of my Algebra 1 students from last year, and his name is Aaron Funches. While writing this speech, I Googled the phrase role model. The first result was a person looked to by others as an example to be imitated. Aaron is that kind of person. He always arrived to class with a positive attitude, was kind and respectful to his classmates, and worked hard from September through June. Combine that with his friendly and easygoing personality, and you have a People's Choice winner. Congratulations, Aaron. Our next speaker is Mrs. Nancy Braunwell.
My People's Choice nomination is Kevin Golden. I nominated Kevin because he's an old school kind of guy, and that's not a bad thing. Kevin is dependable, trustworthy, respectful, kind, and helps others that might need it without being asked. He has great integrity and has a full life of exciting interests. He's a welder, a flagman at races, he plays hockey, and much more. He is sure of his values, and the way he lives his life is proof. When people say all that is wrong with the youth of America, I can answer back, Kevin Golden. He is an example of all that is good in American youth, and I'm happy to know such a stable young man standing on his own solid foundation. Congratulations. Next presenter is Mr. Sean Kennevan.
Organized, independent, sharp-witted, and modest are just some of the words that come to mind when describing my People's Choice Award winner for this year. Perhaps what is most impressive about this young man is his calm, cool, and collected demeanor. I admire his strong work ethic, his organizational skills, but even more so, I admire his passion for serving others. He volunteers much of his time to the firehouse, where he recently was promoted to Explorer Captain. Congratulations, Dan. I am honored to announce that my 2015 People's Choice Award winner this year is Dan Schneider. And next up, Mr. Kirk Seeley.
Good evening. I can just tell you guys, looking across this stage here and seeing these students, knowing some of them for 4 years, or just meeting some of them for the first time the other day at the senior day of service, looking across this panel of students here, it's no mystery as to why they're recommended, and I think they deserve another round of applause for all their accomplishments. That being said, I didn't really have this day planned accordingly. My recipient, RSVP, that she would not be here, but if everyone would look over to their right, immediate right, over there on the pillar, they'll see a girl in a red shirt, and she is my recipient who decided she could come out tonight and help be a part of it. So without any further ado, I want to nominate Eliza Sweet as my 2015 People's Choice recipient. I'm gonna put this award on for you. I didn't get to dress up today because I didn't think my recipient was coming in, but Eliza has often been mistaken as my assistant for GETV. She works tirelessly, and she holds herself to a standard that sets a wonderful example for every student in our program and Seneca High School. Eliza isn't driven to complete, she is driven to compete. Giving your best and nothing else is all she knows, and that's going to serve her very well. Congratulations, Eliza. Sorry you couldn't join me on stage. And I'd like to now introduce Mrs. Celeste Wilden. Thank you.
Good evening. The recipient of my 2015 People Choice Award is Alyssa Vossler. Alyssa is a kind individual who spreads her joy wherever she goes. I used an acrostic poem to shed some light on just a few of the reasons I have chosen her. Alyssa, A, always willing to lend a hand. L, lives by her moral code. Y, you inspire people. S, she's always sweet-tempered. And S again, sincere in all of her actions. And a beautiful human being inside and out. Alyssa truly possesses all of these different characteristics and many more. You could even say that Alyssa fits in the every good category there is. Congratulations, Alyssa. Your positive energy has touched many lives. And now, Ms. Kristen Walsh.
Good evening. My People's Choice nominee this year is Mr. Cole Zink. You knew. I had the pleasure of teaching Cole last year in Algebra 1 and again this year for geometry. Cole is funny, smart, and one of the most genuine students I have ever taught. If you mention his name amongst students or staff, you immediately hear the same reaction every time, and that is how kind and wonderful Cole is. He is a leader and role model in the classroom. He is the first one to raise his hand and participate in class, and when a friend is in need, he is always there. His sense of humor and happy-go-lucky personality is contagious. Cole, I have no doubt that you will have great success in the future, and thank you for always putting a smile on my face. Congratulations. And next to present our first 11th grade winner is Mr. Ron Jensen.
Good evening, everyone. I am proud to select Lucia Aranjuelo for my People's Choice Award. Hello. I greatly admire her courage, confidence, and attitude. She's from the Basque region of Spain and came here for the school year, and from the beginning, she integrated herself into the Seneca community. In my sociology and U.S. history classes, Lou proved to be a thoughtful and kind student who participated regularly, bringing her unique perspectives to my classroom and her fellow students. I'd also like to publicly thank her for fielding questions throughout the year on all things regarding Spain and Europe, and she always did so with a smile. I hope her experience here at Seneca was as rich and rewarding for her as it has been for me to have her in my class. Muchas gracias, Lutia. All right. You did. All right, thank you. Next up, Mr. Sam Myra.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to bring up George Castro. Booker T. Washington said, "Success is not measured by the position someone has reached in life, but by the obstacles he has overcome while trying to succeed." George, you're a living testament to this quote. However, George, he took it to another level, as he not only destroys obstacles to clear his path, but also is there to knock down walls for family and friends in need of support. Let's hear it for George Castro, My People's Choice.
Love you too. Oh, man. I was hoping it was you. It was.
And I'd like to bring up Miss Katie Teller.
Sometimes life delivers the unimaginable, and our lives are changed forever. At this point, we're faced with crossroads where we're forced to take a direction. Oh, thank you. My People's Choice is someone who is not only faced with this challenge, but did so with grace and courage. To this day, she uses perspective, thoughtfulness, and resiliency to grow. Lindsay Cook, you are an amazing woman, and I truly admire your strength and courage. I hope that one day, I too can instill these same qualities in my little girls. I'm so proud of you. I should not be trusted with a microphone ever. Next up, Dave Connect. Sorry, Dave.
Good evening, everyone. I'm honored to give my People's Choice Award this year to Riley Fisher. I first met Riley when she took discussion and debate as a sophomore, where she defended her convictions and held her own in debates against upperclassmen. This year, too, Riley has impressed me with her willingness to take on leadership roles and with her integrity. Anyone who knows Riley knows that she is an individual who cares about others, who is passionate about her beliefs and defends them with pride, and who is willing to stand up for others as an ally. Thank you, Riley, for all you have done and all you will continue to accomplish. Our next speaker is Mrs. Renee Collins.
So it is hard to just pick one student when you come across so many in a school year. So unbeknownst to Renaissance, I picked two. I have two nominees. But they're always together. When there's one, there's the other. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Jack Hartman and his cell phone. They get about the same amount of face time in class. There's actually sometimes that I don't even see Jack's face, just a floating rectangle. But I'm assured that the info that we're learning is so exhilarating and exciting that he has to text his friends and his mom right away in real time. So you can't argue that logic. Jack has taught me things and said things that I can't unhear, and that inspires the face. He showed me things that I can't unsee and won't ever get the time back. Just today, I was asked if I wanted to see a video with true heroes in it. Intrigued and expecting to see a video of all his past, present, and future teachers, or some inspiring story about a war vet, or something inspiring. But I saw a hero eat a 2-foot burrito in under 2 minutes, and another one that eats Vaseline, motor oil, caulk, true heroes of the day. But that's why I picked you, because I expect the unexpected now. I thank you for being able to take a joke, but more importantly, being able to fire one back at me. Thank you for making me laugh every day, and just thank you for being you. And next up is Mr. Jay Donahue.
As a coach of 3 sports, I can think of no one I'd rather have as a player than my People's Choice nominee, Brad Jankowski. Brad has all the characteristics of a great athlete, such as motivation, discipline, focus, competitiveness, raw talent, and maturity. The list really does go on and on with Brad. He's the best teammate and friend that I've been around at Seneca, and he's somebody that you can always count on. He's a pretty quiet guy if you know him, but you can still hear him rooting on his teammates and providing the team with confidence all throughout the season, even when we were struggling this year during baseball, and then turned it around because of guys like Brad. Brad had a great year playing basketball and baseball for me as a team leader in both sports, but he's also a well-rounded student and young man. He says hello to teachers in the hallway and is always the first to give me a reassuring pat on the shoulder. I'm so glad Brad's going to be back next year at Seneca. Brad Jankowski. Next up, Mr. Matt Abate.
The student I selected for my People's Choice Award is Mr. Arthur Stanton. I had the privilege of teaching Arthur my first 2 years at Seneca. Although I don't teach him this year, I still see him on a daily basis when he comes by my classroom to see how I'm doing. Arthur was a pleasure to teach with his thoughtful and opinionated input on various topics, which often tend to lead and promote classroom debate. He was also willing to help me out when I needed a student for an outside activity, like the district job fair. I know I'm not the only teacher who appreciates Arthur's humor and personality, so on behalf of all of us, thank you for bringing a little laughter to our day. Next up, Ms. Kathy Donahue. Art.
My People's Choice Award goes to Miss Jordan Warrenberger. I've come to know Jordan because she went out of her way to come to know me. A social young woman, she is comfortable chatting with adults and her peers alike. Friendly and outgoing, I am charmed by her smile and her high expectations. J-Dub, as she is known to many, is a big Seneca fan, like me. You can usually find her where the action is, at a Seneca game or a Seneca event, like me. She can be loud and bossy, like me. And she really cares about her Seneca friends and family, like me. I hope she knows how highly I think of her and, like me, will treasure and appreciate her experiences here at Seneca. Next up, Ms. Casey Mikowski.
Oh man, this is all right. All right, my People's Choice Award goes to Maddie Yaka. I've known Maddie for 3 years, and I've had the pleasure of teaching her for 2 out of those 3 years. I have watched her go from a shy freshman to a confident young lady. Maddie truly makes teaching enjoyable for me with her outgoing and fun personality, bringing tons of laughter to the class. While math may not be her favorite subject, Maddie still works hard and gives me 100% effort. She also keeps me young by updating me on the latest One Direction news. I can now say that I know all of the names of all the band members, and I can understand the tragedy that she felt when Zayn left the band. Please do not lose your innocence, humor, and positive outlook on life. Seneca is fortunate to have you as a student, and we will feel a real loss when you graduate next year. You deserve not only this award, but the best in the future. Keep reaching for the stars and working towards your future goals. Thank you for reminding me every day why I became a teacher. Next up is Mrs. Sandy Langan.
Hello. I get to start the class of 2015, and my People's Choice goes to Tori Anderson. Come on. Yes, we do. I was going to say Tori came as a shy person, but she still is, but I love her. She is leaving as a really confident young woman. She's a little shy because I'm shy too, so we're fine. I'm going to miss her dearly. I've known her for the last 8 years. And I'm going off what I'm not reading this. I'm sorry, Ms. Rector. But Tori she touches my heart dearly. She tells me all these adjectives and describes me how wonderful I am, and she is just as wonderful, and there is no words to describe Tori. Love you, Tori. Congratulations. I'll put it on back. Next up, Mr. Bauer.
Thank you. My People's Choice is Lauren Bogardus. I've had the distinct pleasure of getting to know Lauren as a student athlete here at Seneca High School. Although she comes across as a quiet individual, she immediately stood out to me as a role model for other students. She is thoughtful, grounded, genuine, and respectful to others while providing a leadership role and positive work ethic both on and off the athletic fields. Every time I see Lauren in the hallway, she always waves and says hi in a way that simply brightens your day. Lauren, it has been a pleasure getting to know you, and I have no doubt you will be successful in life. Thank you. Now we have Mr. Carr.
My People's Choice Award winner is Cole Bowman. My connection to Cole actually dates back to the spring of 2009. I was a senior baseball player here at Seneca, and Cole followed me out to my position as part of pregame festivities for our annual senior night game. Seneca baseball reunited us once again last year as coach and player, and we quickly picked up on our comical first meeting 5 years earlier. I've had the opportunity to coach Cole for 2 years in Seneca's baseball program, and I can say with great certainty that he is the epitome of the word teammate. Cole is respectful of the people around him. He constantly exhibits a positive attitude, and most notably, he is witty beyond his years. I will never forget our consumptions of unhealthy amounts of sunflower seeds. Speaking of which, I own my bag.
Yes, you do.
Our various sports conversations, and the passion and appreciation that we both share for the game of baseball. There's no doubt in my mind that Cole Bowman will continue down a path of success due to the impressive wisdom that he possesses. I sincerely wish Cole the best in all future endeavors. Next up is Mrs. Brenda Martin Lee.
Have to crack them open.
I have the pleasure of nominating Angel Bratton as the People's Choice Award. Finally, she gets to know who it is. She's been asking me all week, who nominated me? Did you nominate? No, I don't know. So it's fun to joke around with Angel. She's been a pleasure. I've known her all 4 years of her time here at Seneca. And I was just impressed with her humble manner and her beautiful smile, as you can see right here. She demonstrates respect towards adults. We've had many interactions. She's one of my students, and not only in the Multicultural Club, but in my classroom. She's helpful. She's willing to listen. She loves to laugh, and so do I. And we've been enjoying laughing all year, many, many, many times this year. She is dedicated and reliable. I believe Angel will have a great future, and I believe it is partly because of her experiences here at Seneca. She's had many challenges, but she still keeps that smile on her face, and I'm impressed by that. I will always remember her. I'm going to try not to cry. And it is my privilege to have gotten to know her personally. I look forward to hearing all of the wonderful experiences she will have in the future. I do. And she deserves the best. And I will miss seeing her smiling face next year. She is one of the reasons why I'm grateful to be a teacher. And now, Mrs. Van Consuelos.
Hi, everyone. I would describe my 2015 People's Choice nominee as honest, sincere, altruistic, and compassionate. I have had the pleasure of knowing Carly Butella since she was a freshman, and she was recommended by her teachers as a student who would be a good role model for her peers. Since then, she has been a mentor in the weekly Seneca Social Club and has volunteered her time to assist other students. Please join me, Carly. You have proven yourself to be a wonderful role model through the years. The students who you mentor describe you as genuine, creative, funny, and kind, and I couldn't agree more. You have made positive contributions to Seneca High School as both a mentor and an artist. I am proud of the young woman that you have become, and I am thankful for having the opportunity to know you. Thank you for all you have done to help your fellow students. And next up is Mr. Greg Bauer.
My People's Choice Award this year goes to Vaughn Butler. I had the pleasure to teach Vaughn when he was a freshman. I was very happy to see his name on my roster again this summer as he chose to take the new Honors Environmental Science course. Vaughn has continually impressed me with his positive outlook, his manners, his effort, and his insight and opinions on various topics in class. Things have not always come easy for Vaughn, but his work ethic has enabled him to be successful. He is the kind of student that makes this profession so enjoyable and rewarding. He is a gentleman, he is respectful, and I am sure he will succeed when he leaves the halls of Seneca next month. Congratulations, Vaughn. Our next presenter is Mr. Bill Cornell.
Thank you. And I'm going to go off script for a moment because I'm going to do something here. I want to acknowledge two young women tonight who have made my life easy for the past 4 years. As interpreters and their supervisor, I'll tell you, they have done a phenomenal job here at Seneca. Miss Danielle Riley and Miss Tina Evans. Thank you both. As our hearing program ends this year and they move on to other schools, I personally wish them the best of luck. I'm going to ask Charlie Castillo to come up here for a minute. I got to tell you about this little boy that used to live in my backyard. About 15 years ago, this little boy ran around my backyard and his backyard. I moved away, and 4 years ago, I was reintroduced to Charlie. Cute kid. The great philosopher Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind." For my People's Choice nominee, that saying is Charlie Castillo. Charlie has overcome severe hearing loss to become not only a successful student, but also a solid member of our Seneca family. Through his participation in National Honor Society, our winning robotics team, as well as being an honors student, Charlie has learned to become a strong self-advocate, a great student, and a remarkable citizen. To see him mature has made me feel good. He moved to a new high school, successfully learned another foreign language, worked with new teachers and new interpreters. Charlie, you have made all of us who know you, admire you, and very proud. As the great Indian chief Slahoot once said, "May silence make you strong." Charlie, your silence has made you very strong. As you prepare to go on to the American University in Washington, D.C., your strength will carry you to great things. Thank you, Charlie, for being a great role model, outstanding student, and solid citizen. Great job. Next up is Mr. Jeff Spector.
Hello once again. A diamond in the rough. I have had the pleasure of knowing my People's Choice Award winner for quite some time. I know her as a wonderful sister, daughter, friend, student, and softball player. I just wanted to take the opportunity to let you know how proud I am of you and the young lady you have grown into. Great things are ahead for you, and while softball may no longer be in your future after high school, I am confident the hits will keep coming. My People's Choice Award winner is Maddie Critchfield. Next up, Ms. Ashley Vorwick.
I've had a very difficult time keeping my people's choice a secret. So Emily, could you please come up here with me? Emily is a wonderful example of a student that embodies the role of a true Seneca student. She is involved in school activities such as Drug Squad, the girls' track team, and FCCLA. She has always challenged herself with a tough course load, never taking the easy road. She was always willing to help out a fellow student, teacher, or administrator if the need arises. Emily's outgoing personality allows her to keep her strong morals and confidence, which is infectious. I have had the privilege and opportunity over the years to watch Emily grow into a beautiful, confident young woman. This is why Emily Doria is my 2015 People's Choice nominee. And up next is Miss Marianne Devine.
My boss, Brad Bauer, is an NC State alum, and he forbid me to read my article, but due to the ACC rivalry that's alive and well at Seneca. But since I never listened to him, here goes. I don't get to see students in class, but I get to see them over the course of a couple years, and when I look at this stage, there's probably most of these students I could have nominated because of their character. But I met my student freshman year when he was surrounded by his friends wearing UNC shirts. Cole's one of them sitting over there, and he stood out with his Duke basketball shirt. Since my daughter was a student at Duke, we bonded, and over the course of the next 4 years, we would chat about basketball, life, and our chances at March Madness championships. My student is Tyler Davis. One fateful day in September this year, Tyler was involved in a near-fatal car accident and was airlifted to Cooper Hospital. Being a former CHOP ICU nurse, I knew his injuries were extremely critical. Amazingly, Tyler was out of the ICU in a few days and home in a week. He returned to school 3 weeks later in a wheelchair wearing a neck brace and leg cast with determination to play basketball and participate in PE class when doctors told him he may never play sports and may walk with a limp. Tyler is running and playing basketball again due to his positive outlook and sheer determination. Tyler's car was totaled in the accident, and the only thing that was able to be recovered was his Duke keychain. Despite Tyler's adverse beginning to senior year, he had a daily smile, no complaints, sheer determination, courage, and a positive spirit. Because of these attributes, I am choosing Tyler as my People's Choice Award, my People's Choice. Tyler, even though that you're not going to Duke and that you're going to be a blue hen at University of Delaware, I got you something to always remember. Mrs. Puder was supposed to be here and for her nominee, but she's stuck somewhere between Sicklerville and here in traffic. So her misfortune is my good fortune because her nominee is probably one of the ones that I would have nominated as well. She's one of my gals in the office, Brittany Deal. This is written by Kelly, but I'll be reading it, and it's pretty much true. What I would have done, I mean, what I would have said about Brittany. I've known Brittany for 4 years as well. Brittany Deal is one of the most mature students I've ever had. She is a kid that just gets it. She is always cheerful, helpful, brave, positive, and polite in my class. Brittany was helpful to me to do anything I asked. That was last year in chemistry. This year, she was not a student on my roster, but she always stopped in just to check on me and say hello. That always made my day brighter. I'm a huge Cinderella fan. Cinderella's motto is courage and kindness. No matter what life throws at Brittany, I know she will handle it with courage and kindness, just as she has always done. Brittany will always hold a special place in my heart because of her courage and kindness. And our next presenter is Mrs. Janice Weber.
Mademoiselle Carolee, allez, viens ici. Exuberance is the word which comes to mind when I think of my nominee for the People's Choice Award. Joie de vivre, enthusiastic, animated, ebullient, pretty much sums up Carolee Hins's personality, whether in cheerleading mode on the football field or selling the final croissants as part of the French Club fundraiser. Wherever Carolee goes, people are lifted in spirit and entertained by her contagious, positive outlook and dynamic energy. Complementing her vivacious nature, Carolee holds strong convictions, internal confidence, and the ability to communicate ideas. This, of course, has made for some very lively discussions inside and outside the classroom, whether in French or in English. Carolee, I hold you dear to my heart and cherish all the fun and even zany times you've brought to the French classes throughout these 4 years. Tu me manquerais et je t'aime beaucoup. Go and do wonderful things.
Thank you.
Merci, mademoiselle.
Oh, yeah, merci.
Ah oui,
Speak French.
Okay. Okay. Whoops. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Please welcome Mrs. Bonnie Horner.
Hi, good evening. Words cannot describe how proud both my husband and I are of our daughter, Julie Horner. Come on up. To have this opportunity to recognize your own child is something that I'm sure so many parents out there would be doing. I'm sure her brothers will now ask why we didn't do the same for them, but I'm sure they would also be very mad at us if we didn't recognize her because they too are so proud of her. Julie has persevered through some tough times and never complained. When she wasn't able to continue with some of her beloved activities like soccer, she looked to other activities like swimming, which I was very proud about. And in these other activities, she excelled there. She has a quiet, humble side to her, but don't let that fool you. She still competes to be her best. She wishes to be a doctor someday so that she can level the playing field for other people faced with medical struggles. And I can't think of a better person for this. I love you so much, my darling daughter.
Is it okay?
I'm trying to not cry.
But I am.
Love you too.
Next up, I'd like to introduce Mr. Jeff Massey.
Good evening. My People's Choice nominee is Jessica Mackey. For the past 3 years, I've known Jess as one of the most personable and engaging young people that I've met in my 12 years in this profession. She was a student in my US 1 class as a sophomore, US 2 as a junior, in current affairs this year as a senior. In all 3 classes, she was a person most likely to have an opinion on just about every topic. It was never afraid to voice it, but always with sound reasoning to back it up. In addition, she was always the most likely to ask me how things were going with my day, my family, and my life. And no matter what was going on in her life, through all the trials and tribulations that all teens deal with, she always maintained such a positive attitude and great sense of humor when she walked through my door. making my classroom a better place. She also watched my boys on occasion, my little kids, and anybody that can do that deserves a whole different kind of award. She's an outstanding babysitter. She's one of those people that's going to be a success with everything she does. I'm happy to present my 2015 People's Choice Award to Jessica Mackey.
I'm reading for Mrs. McMichael, who could not make it tonight. Her People's Choice Award is going to be presented to Mr. John Hunter Piper. Come on down. Again, this is written by Mrs. McMichael, and here's what she has to say about Hunter. Hunter is a man of character and class. He has high aspirations for his life, and I am confident that he will reach and surpass all of his goals. I've had the pleasure of teaching him for 2 honors math courses this year, and I couldn't have been happier with him as a student. He works hard to overcome hurdles, which is a trait that will help him throughout his life. I'm looking forward to hearing about all of the great things that he accomplishes. I know there will be a lot. Congratulations, John Hunter Piper. Congratulations. Next up, Miss Ellen Wren.
I've been teaching for 27 years. And this student has probably made one of the biggest and most significant changes in my career. They've gave me knowledge, courage to do the right thing, and understanding. They had an injury that changed their goals in many aspects of their life. Throughout their years at Seneca, I used to teach at Cherokee, almost came out. Good thing it didn't. Good thing it didn't. Throughout their years at Seneca, they've never lost perspective of wanting to pursue a career, acting kind and appropriate to others, and trying their best to do the right thing. I've always tried to understand the obstacles that my students faced in their lives, but I never really got it until now. Thank you for giving me courage, patience, awareness, and a new outlook on teaching. I love you forever and trust that you will keep moving forward in the world. In the world of engineering, my People's Choice Award is Brian Wren. I don't know where the page is, but I would like to introduce Mrs. Amy Moser.
For years now, I've watched but never quite understood as other teachers stood up here and picked a People's Choice Award as a student that they hoped their children would grow up and emulate. As I now approach motherhood myself, I looked out on my 100 students this year and it clicked. And that is exactly why my People's Choice Award this year is Lauren Riccio. I've known Lauren since her freshman year when she came out for the swim team, and it has been amazing to watch her grow and mature into a wonderful young woman. It was this year that I really got to know her as a student in my Algebra 2 class. Lauren is a very bright light in a sometimes very difficult class. Her positive attitude, determined work ethic, and pleasant demeanor lights up the room. Lauren, thank you for being a little bit of sunshine in my day, and for that reason, you are my People's Choice Award winner for this year. Up next, Mrs. Erin Lawler.
Good evening. I first met my People's Choice last year during his drug squad interview, where he blew me away with his desire to sort of, I'll say, light the world on fire. I've recently, 6 weeks ago, had a little boy, and I've spent a lot of times early in the morning with him thinking about what lies ahead for him. And I think if my son grows into hold the character and the integrity that my People's Choice does, I will be a very, very proud mother, and that is Matthew Rivera. Try not to cry. A few words to describe Matt would be determined, resilient, compassionate, and truly one of a kind. When faced with challenges, he opted not only to persevere, but to take the challenge of positively influencing and encouraging his peers in ways that have changed the lives of many people around him, including myself. In my 12 years as a counselor and as the leader of Drug Squad, I've never met someone who's left such an imprint on the hearts of other people. I am very, very proud of his ability to rise above and lift so many up during his time at Seneca. He is not only a pretty awesome kid, but an exceptional human being. My People's Choice is Matt Rivera. Next up is Miss Erica Myra.
You guys are so great. All right. The rewards of a school counselor are infinite. We have the opportunity to follow our students over their 4 years in high school. In my 30-some years in education, I've had the joy of working with students through the laughter and even the tears. I have been touched personally by so many, but one extraordinary individual stands out amongst them. She is my 2015 People's Choice, Ruben Alex Roberts. Just first start with a hug. Okay. All right. High school is a journey of self-discovery. Fall of 2011, I met Ruben in our freshman interview. My first impression was of a young teenager carrying the world on his shoulders. As our relationship grew, I began to understand the pressures that weighed heavy on Ruben's being. Over the past 4 years, I've been honored to be a part of Ruben's life as she has grown and developed into an intelligent and talented individual, realizing her potential and demonstrating the ability to overcome obstacles. At times, the challenges were overwhelming, and to see Ruben triumph through the adversity has helped me become a stronger and better skilled counselor. As Ruben graduates from Seneca, she leaves a positive impact on our school climate and culture. I find her to be extraordinary. Her style speaks for itself. An exceptional singing talent has taken our school musicals and concerts to the next level. Ruben has a no-nonsense approach to life, and honesty are the traits that all students should aspire. I believe Mark Twain says it best. With courage, you will dare to take risks, have the strength to be compassionate, and the wisdom to be humble. Courage is the foundation of integrity. I have the utmost admiration for Ruben Roberts, my 2015 People's Choice. And next we have Miss Pat Costello.
Over the course of my career, I've had the honor of teaching many students for multiple years as I teach students that can take my classes either 9th, 10th, 11th, and or 12th. I taught my People's Choice recipient as a freshman, and now again teaching her this year as she prepares to leave Seneca towards the next step in her adulthood. It has been my pleasure these past 4 years watching an extraordinary student with intellect, talent, humor, manners, and the ability to respectfully interact with adults as well as her peers. As a teacher, I'm always pleased when students I teach choose to continue college with what I taught them. Maybe not. I will miss her bright and cheerful attitude, but I know that a fantastic future is in store for her. My choice for People's Choice is Jody Chavo. Next up is Miss Amy Fitzpatrick.
My nominee for People's Choice 2015 is Nick Stott. I chose Nick Stott because he's a person who has made a difference with one of our MD students. He has gone out of his way to spend time with and encourage his student. Nick has shown that he is a very compassionate and caring individual, which embraces our Seneca family spirit.
Thank you.
And next up is Ms. Sue Johnson.
My People's Choice Award is Cody Sutton. I've had the pleasure of being Cody's school counselor for the past 4 years, and Cody is someone that always puts a smile on my face and always seems to be in a good mood. Over the years, he's had his fair share of obstacles, but he always gets around them and is a better person for it. He's a hard worker, he's funny, he's compassionate, and most of all, he's a great human being. I will be sad to see Cody graduate, and I will definitely miss him next year when he's not here, but I'm excited for the rest of the world to meet the great guy I know. Good luck, Cody. Take a picture. Next up, Miss Tracy Betts.
I've been waiting 4 years to finally choose this person, because I like to wait until it's the student's senior year, to choose Sahara Rain Vora as my People's Choice. Last year, our auditorium was filled with students singing "We're All in This Together" for the high school musical. I was overwhelmed with pride of our Seneca family. The stage was a true representation of our school, and fittingly, at the center of that stage was Sahara Voira. Sahara entered Seneca High School and absorbed everything it had to offer. Her freshman year, she earned the title of class secretary, and it was just the beginning when speaking of her effect on the students and staff. As a vocal believer in equality, Sahara guided the Gay Straight Alliance Club from a club of 4 members to a club with over 40 members and supporters. As a role model for her peers, Sahara uses her popularity to direct her classmates to speak up when they see someone being mistreated. As a student driven to bridge the gap between all social circles, Sahara encouraged students from all aspects of high school to try out for last year's high school musical. Her influence extends beyond the walls of this school, and in her 4 short years here have led to great abundance. As her time at Seneca comes to an end, and I lose my go-to student, often referred to as my little sister, I am confident that that same talent, fervor, and charisma that has allowed Seneca to thrive with her presence will propel her into a life of prominence. It has truly been an honor to teach and to know Sahara Rain Voira. Next up is Miss Diane Zwill.
Good evening. I'm the registrar here at Seneca High School. I see a lot of seniors in my office when they are applying for college and need help getting their transcripts to the right place. There's one student in particular whose perpetually sunny disposition makes me smile every time. He's genuinely friendly, happy, and considerate, and he is outrageously good-mannered. It is truly a pleasure to interact with him. These qualities are hard to quantify, but I think he makes the world a happier place. This is why I nominate, last but certainly not least, Justin Williams for a People's Choice Award.
Thank you so much, Ms. Will. Appreciate it. Bring it in. Thank you so much.
And next up is Kathy Donahue.
Tonight, you've had the opportunity to listen to our Seneca staff share their impressions of some of our finest young people. I hope you have been as inspired as I have, and remember that these characters are our destiny. And to you, we all know that your teachers are not supposed to have favorites, but you kind of are our Seneca favorites. And we really hope that you are as proud of yourselves as we are of you. Students, one more round of applause for how wonderful they are. Please stand up. Students, stand up. These are our 2015 People's Choice Award winners. You are rock stars. This will conclude our 2015 awards ceremony. We'd like to thank you all for coming out to share in our celebration, and we want to be sure that you pick up a program on your way out. The program has all the nice comments that your staff has made about your students. We hope that you will join us for refreshments that are being served in the cafeteria, and good night, and please drive safely.